Hello, friends!
Break Candy Podcast, episode 892. Louise and Louise are here.
Louise and Louise. Guess what we were talking about before we started? We were talking about what I want to do for my 40th birthday.
I know, I love it.
It is a year from now.
Yes.
And I am planning. The idea just came to me. I think this is genius.
Genius.
Any brainiacs who want to just tag along, just come along with us.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
I want to go to like Thailand, wherever we need to go, Singapore. I don't know where they do this.
Yeah.
And get one of those full body scans.
Full body.
That tell you where you go in and you like spend the whole day. It's like a fucking medical day spa. And you just go in there and you see this doctor and that doctor and they test this and they test that. And they basically tell you the day and month and, minute you're going to die.
Yeah.
And I want to do that.
What do they check for? What are some of the things they look for?
I mean, I think they do like a MRI, like tumors or any sort of like...
Yeah, like levels of everything.
Levels of everything, you know? And I feel like with what's been going on with this old jalopy, like, I need to be making sure I get regular checkups and look under the hood and do my maintenance.
We are going to turn into that.
The wheels are going to fall off.
You know that weird-ass tech bro, Brian Johnson?
Oh, my God.
We're going to get like that. And we're going to be like going to bed at a certain time and...
Look at going to bed at a certain time. That's like what a lot of people just do regular. Like
he has like a whole program.
No, I get it. Like him and like do the
and
5.
He went dancing the other day. It was on
what do you
Twitter.
Okay, what do you like?
He went dancing. And
you follow him on Snapchat? What's happening?
He said, "Don't worry, I'm sticking to my bedtime." It was like a 4 p.m. dance party.
Oh, those are becoming real popular now.
You know what? It's not a bad idea.
I know, because nobody's drinking these days, so nobody wants to stay out late.
Yeah, he's definitely not drinking there, but it was early enough where he'd still be home in time for bedtime. Oh. And he wore some sort of brace on his ankle because he couldn't risk turning his ankle, and there's a lot of risks on the dance floor.
Oh my God. If you're scared that your ankle's going to break on the dance floor,
you're probably a bad dancer.
Suze, I was going to say, I can already see what he looks like when he's dancing. I can imagine that in my mind. It is exactly what you think.
Yeah, the white man's overbite.
Yeah. Oh my God. Remember when I went to Budapest and I told you that I felt like Usher when I was there because I was dancing and I was like regular and they were like, whoa, she is so good because I was just on beat. I feel like he is
Usher.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's a good reference.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, you were. Do you think people were like, wow?
I know they were. A circle formed, Susie. I felt like a superstar, and this was not because I was on the show. I'm in the fucking Czech Republic or like Budapest, like.
That is a riot. There was a circle around
I swear to God, and I'm like, oh my, look,
that is the dream.
I was with my ex-husband, who's a very flamboyant dancer.
He's a great dancer.
Yes, and so it was like that and that. We were both like
terrible husband, though.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, 40th birthday, body scan, maybe a nip and tuck. I'm saying for me.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, like I'm
me.
Hey, yeah. I'm like, do all the skin treatments, scrub me until I feel like a newborn again.
Yeah.
Like,
spit shine. Whatever
you got to do, because I am not going to be a crusty old lady.
I cannot believe you're going to be 40.
You know what? It's funny because I've been like rounding up since I was 30-something, 36. I don't know why. And I have friends who are like, you're the only person who rounds up. Why do you do that? I'm like, and I really do think it might be a little bit of my synesthesia that I don't like how those other numbers, the only one that was okay was 37, but all the other ones don't, and I can't even say it because it feels like not part of my identity.
Unnatural.
Yes. 40 is just nice, solid good. Red.
That's a good color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red with a little grayish white kicker on the end.
And I'm excited about it. You're going to have a whole new you, I think.
Yeah. I think feeling pretty good. I'm getting some hormone therapy happening, next week, meeting with a doctor, like finally. So, yeah, things are looking up over here.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but I thought that would be a fun little birthday thing. It's like, wow, how the birthdays have changed.
Yeah, we're scanning for cancer.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I should have just one last birthday that's like a kid, like with a moon bounce or something for like.
Oh my gosh!
Do like a kid's birthday. I could always go in that direction. At like the roller dome.
Oh gosh,
was our roller skating rink.
I would love a roller skating party.
Oh my gosh,
that would be so fun.
How come we've never done that for you?
I tell you what, at least here in the Berg, it is hard to find a rink.
Get out! It's pretty popular in Denver.
Okay.
And there's a lot of roller derby leagues.
Oh my god.
It's like big out here.
I love a roller derby league. I did a story on it one time for PBS when I worked for them here. And those bitches are hardcore.
So hardcore.
So funny, like very brain candy. Like they love a pun.
100% brain candy material. Hey, listeners, how many of you do compete in roller derby?
Play roller derby?
Splatzamo. Yeah.
Which, Splatzamore, that's how she came up with the name, because it's a pun.
So good.
Splatzamore.
Oh my gosh, like that's amore.
Yes.
I just got it.
Yes.
I've never heard it said like you just said it.
Yes.
That's so good. Tell everybody what yours would be, because it's so good that I tell people who don't know you, I have this friend, let me tell you what her roller derby name would be.
Susan for a Bruisin?
I 100% do mean Susan for a Bruisin.
Yeah, and yours is
serial killer.
Serial killer! It's so good. We should join a league just so we could use these names.
I know. I was talking to somebody about, I don't know who this was. I was like, hey, have you ever been to a roller derby, I don't know, they call it match, league, game, league out here? And I said, yeah, I went to one, but it wasn't that good because they didn't have it wasn't a banked rink.
What the fuck? Oh, like with the edge?
Well, yeah. Apparently that's
way too advanced for me.
Okay, that's like the difference between like the amateurs and the pros is they really get after it.
But
hell no,
bust my
Susie,
ass.
I cannot roller skate.
I didn't know this about you.
I can rollerblade like no problem, but you put me on 4 and it is like I'm rolling up invisible windows. My hand, I fall backwards. My hands go. It feels I went to a roller skate party one time. It took me. I got it after a little while, but I did not feel confident on rollerblades. Oh, I can fucking tear it up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like doing cool crossovers, like backwards.
Are you familiar with the classic Meister tale of how my mom? She has anxiety, clearly, because she was always worried her kids were going to get injured, even though she would pray that God would put a hedge of protection around us. She was always very worried that we were going to break a bone or something. And so when we were learning to roller skate, she would only let us wear one.
That seems more dangerous, actually.
I know.
That really is. That's kind of like they say in snowboarding and a lot of like extreme sports, that speed is safe. That like if you go fast, it's better. Like when you go slow, you're at a higher risk of falling sometimes. You need physics and to go with the mountain, whatever.
Yes.
So it feels kind of the same with roller skating.
I know. And how are you going to get speed with one? Like a flamingo? Are you kidding me?
Okay, follow-up question. Did you alternate legs?
No. Because it's almost like you're on a scooter. Like you have to use
and then
your
you just go,
leg.
one foot in the air? Wibble wobble?
Like a scooter. So you're like,
oh my gosh,
kind of like,
well, maybe she was like training you. This maybe that's why you're such a proficient roller skater today,
better at it.
because you gotta 1 foot at a time.
When I went to that funeral recently of like my childhood sort of second mom, I sat at their table at the luncheon and they were laughing about how I had to wear one roller skate because this is legendary. And
so
the
great.
dad was saying how, like, on the day that I finally was allowed to put on the pair, my friend came running down to the basement to tell everybody,
oh my God.
Sue's on 2! Sue's on 2! It was like this big accomplishment. So sad.
Oh, that's so great. I love that story.
None of us ever broke a bone, so maybe Peg was
God.
onto something.
Yeah.
Parents
we were breaking them right and left.
stupid.
We were getting, my mom was like,
exactly
you
right.
better go break a bone. You better go, I better see a skin knee when I get home. Well, she just like,
action.
yeah, she
Gotta keep
knew
moving.
that we were, which is so weird because she's never broken a bone until she fell off a building.
That's a big asterisk on that one.
That's a really big answer. She broke all the bones,
at
once. Like, I mean, I guess, she was just like holding off and
Right. You guys paced yourself.
cashed in. Yeah, all at once.
God. What if that's how it works? Where like everyone breaks the same number.
No, don't even put that out there. Well, maybe it's fine. I'm good. I should be good.
Yeah, how many? I mean, I've seen you in at least 2, I think, casts.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Good
for sure.
grief.
And I mean, sprains, they're even worse. Those I get all the time. But
Maybe you're like brittle.
I am. They told me that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't mean to rub it in.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just don't rub too hard. I break.
I'll tell you what you should rub in, and that's how awesome you are if you're smart enough to order filters through Filter Easy because they come on a schedule.
This is one of those things. You know what I've noticed in my house since actually replacing my filter at the right
intervals. Yeah,
way less dust.
right.
I didn't know that was going to be that's a nice side effect. I have to dust less because everything's doing its job. It was terrible
the filter was
before.
probably all clogged up.
It was, Suze.
Yeah, it's serious. And you have carpeting in yours.
Yep.
So it's really important.
It's very important. And I got an old house. So it's very important. And this is a way where I don't have to think of it. It'll just come to me delivered. And it feels like they're environmental friendly because of how they package it.
Oh, yeah. I feel like they've got it on lock. They have sorted out all of it because they also have the magic filter, which is like some sort of special technology or something that improves the airflow and lowers your energy bills and stuff. I just feel like they've sorted it out. Yeah. Because it was like decades where there was no improvement in this industry.
They're like, nope, fine, it's great. Leave it.
But these are the real deal, made with love in North Carolina. They ship right to your... So, like, just get your measurements, like your dimensions. That's something people need to know.
Yes.
And then once
you can just pull out your old one and it'll say it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
which you probably have to get rid of anyway, so...
Ew, yeah, it's probably disgusting. You just put the info in, and then it's a subscription. And here you go. Here it is. I guess I better change it.
Yep.
And Filter Easy takes care of your air filters, so you have time to take care of everything else. Head to filtereasy.com/candy. Use code CANDY for 50% off your first order, plus free shipping forever. Come on. Once again, that's filtereasy.com/candy for 50% off your first order, plus free shipping forever. And make sure you use our promo code CANDY so they know we sent you.
Yes.
Okay.
Louise. Have we ever talked on here about the origins of the game Monopoly?
Oh, the lady.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about it on here, but I remember reading it. And she was like anti-capitalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like I either rediscovered this info or heard it for the first time and it got me excited. So if it's been 10 years since we've talked about this, we need a little refresher.
I
Maybe
bet
it'll
you
be.
that she's upset in her grave about because that's not the message we're getting when we play it.
Absolutely. So her name was Lizzie Maggie, and she was a pioneering inventor and really a progressive thinker in the early 20th century. She was born in 1870, and she created this game called the Landlord's Game. And
I like that.
Right? And she created it in 1903, and then it was patented. Patented? That's, I think I'm saying that right. I don't know what happened to my brain there. The next year, and she did it to, quote, expose the dangers of monopolistic systems and concentrated land ownership.
Oh, my God.
She wanted to use it as an educational tool to basically just like illustrate economic exploitation and social injustice.
Jeez.
Think about having that radical idea then.
Yeah, I wonder like what it was that made her sort of see the problems with that economic system. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if she was
had
an experience that revealed that to her, or if she was just real smart.
Yeah, or where she felt like maybe I could see, maybe she was, I mean, if she was an inventor and progressive thinker, we can imagine that maybe she was going to school, and so she had a family that was funding this, and maybe she had money, and maybe it's one of those situations where she came from a wealthy family and recognized the injustice. You know,
like that Abigail Disney.
Oh, I don't know about her.
She's one of like Walt's daughters, I guess, or granddaughters.
Yeah.
And she's like giving away all of her inheritance and stuff, and she fights for progressive causes and stuff, and it's kind of like that idea where
I love that.
She's got the silver spoon, but she's just like, this is gross.
Yeah. I love that.
That's why, like, when, I mean, I don't want to get political, but
let's get political.
Like the thing where, you know, people, you know, conservatives are not into anything they perceive as being sort of like not based on earning it. So like DEI stuff, you know, like diversity in it. But they do seem fine with nepotism. Like if you know, like just give your kids all your money and like hire them.
Because it almost feels like, well, at one point somebody earned it, so we're allowed to keep it.
Yeah.
It's like passed down. What is that word I'm looking for?
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth, but like the idea that you're better than everybody, like you're what the fuck? I can't even think of anything.
Manifest destiny?
No, the idea that you're better than everybody else. What is that? What do we fucking call that?
Superiority?
Superiority. Yes, it's yes. Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because
it's like they're passing down this superiority complex. That's what I mean.
Like if they perceive that somebody's getting a job in part because of their skin color being like dark, or
then that's not fair. Right.
Yeah, but they don't have that same feeling when I don't know why. I'll have to ask one of them.
Yeah. Well, they're not listening to this podcast, I don't think.
Well, my sister does.
Oh,
Renee,
okay.
let me know.
Shout out to Renee. Hi, Renee.
Shout out to Renee. She sends me emails about our episodes, and they are the best thing you ever saw. She bullet points the things that made her laugh.
Oh my gosh, we love that.
Awesome. And it then makes me laugh.
There's nothing I would love more than notes on how
you
funny
would
I
love
was.
this. And if she like agrees with something I say, or it's very Meister behavior.
That's why I probably love it. It's my brand.
But I'm sorry, I'm hijacking. Go ahead.
Yes. So not only did our gal Lizzie come up with this great game, and then it got used as something that like not in the way she intended, but her work was straight up like stolen and totally co-opted by the makers of and rebranded as Monopoly. And
who was it? Like fucking Milton Bradley?
I think it was. I want to say it was. Why don't I have that in my notes? I want to say it was Mattel, like something like that, Mattel or Milton Bradley, like a game.
Yeah. What's
something
the one with
like
Parker?
That. The Parker Brothers.
Parker Brothers. Those fucking assholes.
Probably is those guys.
That is classic Parker
classic
brother behavior.
Parker brother behavior. Yeah. So, the only record we have like historical records and these like academic analyses that are in like the Smithsonian in scholarly works on game history that shows her original intent for it, but that's really it. And then it was just
she created the landlord.
Yes,
game.
Which is it's the same thing. It's that.
It's Monopoly.
It's Monopoly. It's you go around the board, and she did it to show that the person who just lands on the right squares and gets the right cards or whatever,
they got lucky,
will win the game. And if you have control of Boardwalk, you'll always win.
That's right.
And that's basically like the landlord's always going to win. And you're going to end up paying all of your, oh gosh, I landed on utilities. Oh gosh, go to jail. You know?
Right. I hate it.
She was like,
well, so
hello.
But do you know whether like she was like, hey guys, that's my game? Or she was just like, she's the kind that didn't care, which is probably why she died poor.
I think she was probably the kind who was like all women and just ignored, and it didn't matter. Damn. I think her big move of, speaking out was making the game. And then...
Damn it. Is her name Lizzie?
Yeah.
Lizzie.
I know.
Fuck.
It's the worst. So, thought I would just update us on, or not update, but, refresh our memory
what
of
piece
that.
do you choose when you play Monopoly?
Oh, what a good question. Usually the iron.
No.
I like the iron.
What do you like about it? It's nice and smooth, or?
Yeah. And it looks like it's already moving forward. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's pointing
Yeah.
ahead.
It's like, it feels like it wants to be a game piece. Like that thimble, what the fuck is that thing doing? That doesn't want to be a game piece.
Yeah, the thimble. Come on.
It's just ready to fall. And it rolls off the table all the time. Mm-hmm. Because it's got, like a thimble does.
I wonder how they picked a thimble anyway. It's so weird.
Yeah, I want to know those things.
I do,
I wonder what her original... I really do think that if it's not already, they should have a book. Like, I want to read that kind of history. I want to know who she was. I want to know where she, went to school, what her... this information. We don't record women's stories like that,
No,
though.
we don't.
Ugh,
especially back then.
Yeah. Okay. What else do I want to talk about? Okay, this get ready for me to blow your mind with this one. You're not even going to... It's hard for me to even grasp this concept when I explain it.
Okay.
So, the color purple is basically an illusion. Yeah. So, purple our eyes don't really have the receptors. We have spectral colors that correspond to specific wavelengths like red, blue, and green, but purple does not have its own unique wavelength.
What?
So purple, if you look in the spectrum,
we got violet.
We do, but apparently,
Roy G. Biv up in this bitch.
In the naming of the colors, yes, but if you look at the actual spectrum of colors, like how colors appear in our eyes, we don't have sensors. They don't have, purple doesn't have its own unique wavelength. What purple is, purple happens when our eyes receive light that stimulates both red sensitive and blue sensitive cones simultaneously.
Wow.
With little activation from the green sensitive cones. Those are the cones we have. We've got blue, red, and green in there. They call them S cones, M cones, and L cones. And our brain uses this process called color opponency to contrast red and blue, and they mix these signals, and it creates our perception of purple.
That is wacky.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is.
I had to reread this 20 times.
Because you couldn't accept it.
Because I still don't, I'm like, but I see purple. And it's like, yeah, right. That would be the red and the blue.
So you're saying it's the eyeball equivalent of when you have the artist palette and you start mixing Bob Ross style.
Like the color wheel. Yeah. Things cancel each other out. So contrasting red versus blue and blue versus yellow. And the mix of these signals creates the perception of purple.
So let's say orange.
Yeah.
We have a cone for orange.
We have the red cone.
How many cones do we have?
3.
What do we have?
Our retinas contain 3 types of cone cells.
The primary colors?
Blue, green. No, green isn't primary, but I think those make sense because they almost feel. Remember, a long time ago, you talked to us about a tribe where they didn't know the color blue.
Yeah,
they didn't know, and I would imagine that it has something to do with.
Boy, that's weird.
This, or like how certain colors weren't developed until later. I don't even know how to wrap my mind around that, Susie.
I love how upset you are.
Because what am I supposed to do with that information?
Yeah, it's not right.
Like, there's purple on my shirt right now. But actually, no. There's red plus blue, then neutralized with green and yellow versus yellow.
But what is it then? What is purple?
It's
Nothing.
Well, we're perceiving it as purple, but it is a color that's actually reflecting, or it's coming out as like red and blue, and our eyes are adjusting it.
I don't like it one
I don't
bit.
like it either. And I feel like this might be why, it didn't say this in the article I read, but I'm going to do some fan fiction over here, or Sarah's got a theory. And purple has always been like this royal color, or this color that's reserved for royalty or super rare.
Special.
It like symbolizes like luxury and power in so many different cultures. And I think. And
it does.
And I feel like there's even this recognition that we have that color is special. It's also said that the majority of children under, I think it's like the age of 7 or something, will choose purple as their favorite color because it's the most balanced color. And they say it's a good balanced blend of red and blue, which is exactly what it's doing. It feels like, this is balanced. And so I like that color.
I can see that then. I could see how it then would become special.
Yeah. It's like this color of luxury. And it's
what is
very
your favorite
rare
color?
In nature. Somebody asked me recently, what is your favorite color to look at and what is your favorite color to wear? And those are two different questions.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah. So my favorite color to look at is cerulean blue. It's a very specific Crayola color.
And it is very beautiful.
Love it. It's so bright and deep at the same time.
But also like soothing.
And I've recently been like a powder blue gal. Like baby blue. Like,
It's real cute, Sarah.
So I'm in my blue era, I guess. What about you?
My favorite color is yellow.
I knew that already.
I love it. Yeah.
I knew
but
the answer
my
to that.
favorite color to wear, black. I just love it. Black all day.
It's funny.
There's nothing wrong with black.
There really isn't. My new girlfriend is also a lover of wearing dark colors and dressing in black. And when we hang out, I feel like a circus clown.
I can see that.
I feel like everything on me is bright colors. I was like, I look like a peep when I'm around you.
Totally.
Like
but
I'm wearing
really
a pastel blue, matching
who you
jumpsuit
are.
with like green Vans, and it's bright. I have like pink overalls. Like this, I am a child, basically.
You're very consistent though, because you've always said, if you're new to the show and you're not familiar, Sarah, everyone, wherever you go with Sarah, wants to talk about her fucking tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere you go, especially old ladies.
Right.
They want
they're all
an
like,
explanation
what have you
for
done to
why
yourself?
someone, especially someone as beautiful and charming as Sarah, would do that to their body, deface their body that way.
Yeah.
And Sarah has had this answer ready for years.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to be as colorful outside as I felt on the inside.
Yeah.
And at minimum, that does diffuse these old biddies.
Old broads. Yeah.
Because they're just, how can you be mad at that answer? That is an adorable answer.
Right.
And that is also true.
Yeah. They're like, you shouldn't be. That sounds, that's exactly true.
If they say anything bad then, it's like, you want me to be dark inside and bitter?
Want me to be sad. You think that this goes with
empty?
A sad, emptiness. Is that it? Yeah. No.
Yeah, it really challenges their idea of why someone would get tattoos like that. Yeah. It's a great answer.
And I can't wait till
you're colorful.
The elderly population is fully tatted up and sleeved.
I know.
Those nursing homes are, and to me, I'm like, okay, so when everybody else has saggy, wrinkly skin that isn't colorful, I'm going to have saggy, wrinkly skin that is colorful.
I mean,
that's
a way
way
to
more fun.
Because let me tell you, that is the most disgusting part of aging, in my opinion, so far. Crepey.
Crepey. I hate that word.
That is accurate. It is crapers over here.
I hate that word.
I'll tell you what I like, though. Actual crepes.
Aging.
And you could probably get them from Hungry Root because...
You absolutely can. You could, because they have pantry staples, and you can get all of that delicious stuff. Susie, I love Hungry Root so much.
Me too. What do we do to tell people that we're dead serious about this?
And it's not like you don't have. I really mean it when I say I'm cooking a meal that's like fresh in 6 minutes. Six minutes. It really is that, because they've done all the combining for you of all the good ingredients, and you can make sure that it has no added seed oil and no GMOs and no high fructose corn syrup. You can pick or none of that or whatever you want. It's all really good ingredients. And one of the things that I did not mention before, but I have to say, their package, when you get the box delivered, it comes with like one of the ice pack kind of freezer things.
Yeah.
That is, not only is it non-toxic and biodegradable, but it is nitrogen based, so you can dump it into your plants, and it's plant fertilizer. I love them so much, and all the grocery stores in my area.
The SNL Target lady.
Yeah, our Target lady. Yes.
Yeah.
All the grocery stores in my area are on strike, and I am somebody who supports the unions, and I am somebody who is not going to shop at places that don't do good and give back and take care of their employees and all that. And Hungry Root does.
They do.
That's the end of my soapbox.
Here's what it is. It's sort of like two things. It's grocery shopping, but it's also meals. So like you can just pick pantry items if you want, sour cream, snacks, stuff like that. And or get recipes, and then the ingredients will come as well for those. And it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and desserts. So it's not just dinner like most are. It's everything you will need. Lincoln loves the little pancakes, this little guys. Have you ever had those?
No, I haven't.
They are just teeny tiny. They take 2 minutes total to make. And
very kid friendly.
Those are his favorites. And they're so cute. But all their stuff is great. They have a deal. You're going to love Hungry Root as much as we do. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, you get 40% off your first box. So give it a try. See what you think. You don't have to commit. Just try it.
Right.
Plus, you'll get a free item in every box. Sarah, for life. Sarah talked me into the cookie dough, but it's made out of chickpeas or something.
It's like protein based. Yes, it is chickpea. It barely made it into the oven. I just ate it all like regular.
And then we also got the brownie mix that you can eat, and it's made out of black beans. You would never know.
Never. I love that shit. Yeah.
Go to hungryroot.com/braincandy. Use code braincandy. It's hungryroot.com/braincandy. Code braincandy to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/braincandy. Code braincandy. And that company, the way it works on podcasts is like they'll do like a test. Mm-hmm. So like if your campaign with this company does well, then they'll support you for the year or something. Mm-hmm. And so like I hope Hungry Root. So if you guys should use the code and all that. Yeah. So then they'll be like, wow, Brainiacs love Hungry Root. And then they'll see that we are a great partner.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
That because we want to keep our partners ones that are really fantastic. And
I know, because they are great.
We do cherry pick them.
Yeah, so. That's for sure. You see
really
the duds that come through my desk.
Right. Pick only the good ones. Okay. So, purple. How about that? Not even real. I don't even know. How about that?
It is. There's a lot of stuff like that really freaks me out, and I have to like try not to think about it because it's too weird.
Right.
It kind of spooks me.
Okay. Well, then I got another one for you.
Oh, no.
Are you hearing people talk about the new podcast? Actually, it came out in 2024. The Telepathy tapes.
I did hear about it.
Susie.
Oh God!
It's
Tell
phenomenal.
Me. What?
What they are introducing on this podcast is something I've witnessed and experienced with my brother, even though he's not nonverbal but is on the spectrum. I'll get into what this is, and it is something. Oh fuck! I forgot what the hell my B point was going to be. I got really excited.
I love when people go. Yeah, A, and then they'll switch to numbers and be like,
two. A second. Right.
Okay, wait. Yeah. So the telepathy tapes.
Yeah. Okay.
You said, I love it because I've experienced it.
Yes.
And probably...
it will fundamentally change the way that we think about consciousness
Oh no, what?
as
Tell me.
a species. Okay.
Fuck.
So it is this series that explores what you can only call an extraordinary human experience and the science behind ESP, like extrasensory perception and telepathy in nonverbal autistic people.
All right.
When I say they are accurate, how accurate would they have to be with their with telepathy when we're talking like controlled, like in another room? I am writing down this 3-digit number that's been randomized on a computer number digitizer thing. You're in the other room. There's a board between them. They're wearing blindfolds.
Who is running these experiments?
Okay, so the original researcher was this woman. Oh, what is her name?
Well, I just mean, you don't have to name her. What,
okay.
She's a scholar?
So, yes, she's a scholar. She went to school at Johns Hopkins, graduated from Johns Hopkins. How the fuck? It's tongue-tied. Johns Hopkins. And then became a faculty member or whatever at Harvard.
Okay.
So she the Princeton Engineering and Anomalies Research Lab was part of this. They have had peer-reviewed journals in multiple different journals, and it was started by one woman who was researching this, and almost like the Harvard professor, really was like risking her career to talk about this because it's so rejected in the community, like the academic community, because it doesn't fit our... There's a word for it. It's like materialism or something like that, but it's basically this concept in science that says everything must be able to be measured. Everything has to exist in this physical world. And that's why none of these tests will ever actually pass scientific rigor, because they don't fit the current model that we have for what we count as science. Like, we have to have everything physical, and this exists in not a physical space. So I want to go back to my question. What percent accuracy would you think is impressive? And we're talking nonverbal,
or
whatever the fuck you want them to guess. I'm talking, I should say, we'll start with a 3-digit number. Then how about a random word that is generated with the word? How about I randomly take this book, open the book, and you tell me what page I'm on, and then you read me that paragraph. Mm-hmm. And you're in another room. Mm-hmm. A book that somebody else brought in, they tested over and over. They had cameramen who are skeptics, who then are like, this is undeniable. What percentage would you think is impressive?
I don't know, because like this feels like a trick, because...
Well, like 50% is like... I keep
thinking about the Amazing Randy.
Yeah.
You know? Because he offered $1 million to anybody that could pass, the test.
I don't think they were using autistic children as test subjects for this. I don't think they were the ones that they were looking to even test then for that.
No, right. He was thinking along the lines of like Uri Geller and stuff like that.
Right.
But I just am hesitant to believe it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, you have to listen to it.
I will look into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
95% accuracy. Okay. And some children, 100% accuracy. Mm-hmm. And some could do it with anybody, and some could do it only with their caregivers that they're very close to, because it's like a connection that they have. And it is one of the most interesting podcasts
a problem, though.
I've ever heard.
That's a problem, though, if it is someone they already know.
It's not if you think about it in terms of a radio signal, that if your radio station is only tuned to pick up that channel.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, Sarah.
Then those channels are like, and it's like the entanglement, like quantum physics entanglement, that not all particles are entangled, but two particles can be entangled in different times.
I understand what you're saying, but there's a reason why the rubric for the scientific method exists, because it avoids the intentional or unintentional, quote unquote, cheating
Right.
that can happen unless something is double blind.
Right.
And this isn't. So
That's
Randy wouldn't
it's
give him
like,
$1 million.
Right. I mean, and to me, that I don't need it to be proven in that way. I saw the way that my brother and my mom communicated without talking when my brother was little, and he can still do it with her. And I want everybody to listen to it, because I think what it will do is it will it'll help us presume competence in people who are nonverbal, because often they just need the tools to find that voice and find that language. And then once they do, it opens up this whole world and unlocks this whole world when they're able to communicate. And when you hear the things that they say that are similar, it is, and I do know that there are some people from the autism community who are really anti this and calling it like, this is pseudoscience, which in a way it is.
It is pseudoscience.
Yeah. And nobody's saying that it's not. But, and I think that if people think of like this as, oh, well, this is just the answer and then my child's going to be cured or something like that, then maybe that's not the case. But I just think, I wonder if this isn't a little bit of the evolution of the mind. That has kind of been a theory that I've had, because they also did EEGs on these children and people as they were experiencing this telepathy, and their whole brain lights up in a whole bunch of regions way more. And to me, that like says that there's some other kind of communication that is happening in a way that we don't even know about. They used this one story to kind of illustrate how a similar way that this may work. Have you heard Lucille Ball being interviewed about the fillings in her teeth and how she drove by? Okay, so Lucille Ball got filling done on her teeth, and she was driving, and all of a sudden started hearing music. And she's like, where the hell is that music coming from? And she realized it was coming...
I've heard other people say that this happened to them.
Yeah. So in a way, that shows that our brains can tune into, with the right tools, a conductor, basically, that was like external, that was introduced, allowed her to pick up radio
that's
waves.
Like frequency, yeah.
I think that's what this is.
Radio waves are not the same as thoughts.
I beg to differ. Radio waves are frequency, and our brain is electronic and frequency. That is exactly what an EEG is picking up. It's frequency. It even is at specific hertz.
Literally, can you dial it down?
Yeah, I'm just so excited.
I just said they are not the same as radio waves.
Well, because that's like saying, that's like the wave spectrum. Like, you look at the spectrum, like frequency of like wavelengths, kind of like the color. Color is not the same as radio waves, but they're all wavelengths. So this is just a different wavelength that we can't measure.
I think it's interesting. I will like look into it, but there is a lot of problems, including that sometimes we all like we want to believe stuff.
I want you to be a skeptic and listen to this.
It's not, but you said there are people in the autism community. It is not just the autism community. Among others, it's the Association for Science in Autism Treatment.
Right.
Who is saying they spread misinformation about the authenticity of facilitated communication and the presence of paranormal abilities in non-speaking autistic individuals.
Right.
That isn't just like some people in the community.
I totally understand. Could you imagine if you had a bunch of parents running in going, test my child? They're probably like, no way. That's not going to happen. They need way more evidence and more studies. But the thing is, nobody wants to study it because they don't want to fund it because it's like, oh, this is just woo-woo stuff. I think after this podcast came out, I think this is not woo-woo stuff. I think this is really happening. And I think...
I think that's my problem, though. That's my problem, is that I agree with you that we shouldn't shut something down just because it seems mystical and whatever. But we also shouldn't say, I think this is real because we listen to a podcast.
No, I don't think it's real because I said my A was because my brother, the experiences I've seen with my brother.
And also anecdotal stuff. Neither of those. It shouldn't be, I believe this because of those two.
But that's what religion says. I believe in God because of my experiences. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I have.
And I'm saying that's 100%. Stupid too.
Well, okay, I am choosing to believe that.
Why?
Because I know it to be true when I saw my brother communicate like that.
Yeah, but that is not science.
And and nowhere in this podcast episode did I say it was science.
Yeah,
I actually said the opposite.
Yeah, but you are somebody who identifies as someone who relies on science for your beliefs.
Unless the measures of the way that we measure and that quote unquote like scientific method doesn't allow for, in the same way we didn't allow quantum physics before because they were like, no, it's got to be the same. The same thing that applies to big things has to apply to small things. And that was rejected for years in the scientific community as a fringe science. But
fringe is okay, Sarah. It's not.
No, but not duplicatable. Not able to be duplicated.
Replicated, yeah.
Replicated. Yeah.
Yeah, but.
Or pseudoscience. It was seen as a pseudoscience.
Why can't it be just like, I'm really open to this.
Yes.
And like, I want more research and stuff rather than I believe in it, period.
Because that's not how my heart feels.
That's how it is when you read about like the near death experiences.
Right.
I love that stuff. It's so fun. And I think there is probably something cooking.
And if you tell me we all accept that the placebo effect works.
Yeah.
We're saying that our brains have power, our thoughts do things, our thoughts have. I agree. So I feel like this is just like the extent, the evolution of that and and the crazy thing is if you talk to people in the non-speaking autistic world, they all have these stories. We're talking globally, from Mexico to India to all over the United States.
Yeah.
People that couldn't, came from rural areas and were thinking, my child can read my thoughts.
Yeah.
How does my child know what I'm thinking?
I can see that. And if I had that sort of personal experience and be like, listen, I don't know what's cooking, but I know something is.
Right.
I get it. I really do. And there probably is. Here's my hesitation.
Yeah.
The sincere and real experiences of these people, whatever they are, because I haven't listened to it yet. Mm-hmm. Assuming these folks are sharing their lived experiences truthfully, and then whatever happened on the show that moved you was real too. Mm-hmm. Those things can be easily exploited by people and organizations who have other agendas, are interested in making money or getting fame and power and prestige from some discoveries or whatever. And we must be very careful not to jump to conclusions, or in the same way that we don't want the academic world to dismiss this as hocus pocus. Mm-hmm. I also don't want the believers and the people that are trying to push this forward to do anything to harm or exploit the people whose stories they are
absolutely
sharing.
I will say that is one of my favorite things about this podcast, because it didn't ever feel like that. And the ways that these children and adults light up when they are engaging in what I can only call as mind reading. I don't know what else to call it.
All right. Well, anyway, that's totally fascinating. I will listen to it and like look into it. And part of the joy for me, and maybe that's like where our wires get crossed, is I really love being challenging it. It's not even skepticism. It's more just like, let me think about this from every angle I can.
And isn't it weird? I have not. I don't know why I get emotional talking about it.
Okay.
Oh, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. There are very few things. I can't even think of anything else that I would say I like wholeheartedly believe. Like, I'm even skeptical about astrological stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm skeptical about all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But because of the uniqueness of like the nonverbal autism, and I remember I went to a evolution of psychotherapy conference, and there was a booth that was there where they were talking about, or they had books on autism spectrum disorder, and they were talking about it being like an advantage in some way, and your brain is thinking in like new ways. And it just got my wheels turning, and I just couldn't stop thinking about how I see how this could in some way, this is like just Sarah's got a theory, I don't believe any of this or know any of this for sure, that if you overstimulate a brain for a long time, for, you know, who knows what the result of that is, and could this be, in a way, our brain processing faster and leveling up to a place where we don't need to communicate. In all of our, in a lot of like sci-fi films, they have that of like, oh, the aliens just speak to us in their minds, you know? And the children will describe it as much, they say, I prefer to talk to mom like this. They're disconnected from their bodies. They say, I have to learn how to go into my body to live. I most of the time live in a place where I don't need a body. And that to me feels like an evolution of the mind. And I've always felt like people on the spectrum, and then we have savants. Like, to me, this seems like you're going to tell me that the kid who woke up who speaks fluent Mandarin and is from like, you know, wherever, Chicago, like, there's not something weird going on there with what he's getting downloaded. And it is, I think it might be an evolution of the species in a way, which is a crazy thing to say. But when you look at it like that, and you look at it as in the same way, like trees can communicate and send messages so quickly about danger and about that, we have there's so much that is mysterious. And to me, this feels like such a cool and interesting explanation, and the most plausible one for me. Yeah. And I just can't wait for this podcast, because it was like the #1 podcast on iTunes. And so I hope that encourages more people to look into it, to talk about it, to just ask the questions to their children, or, you know, asking questions, that's not going to do any harm.
Never. Yeah. Totally fascinating.
Right?
I hope it is true.
Oh my God, so
Sounds
bad.
awesome. Because everyone's fucking loud, and it annoys me. If we could do this all silently, it would really be great.
It makes so much sense when you hear these kids talk about their experience in their bodies and what it feels like to be overstimulated, and we all understand it in like a small way.
We should have a Candy Club meeting just talking about it.
I was thinking
that would be a hoot and holler.
I want to hear, because I know somebody in listening has stories. I know they do. I know somebody, one of our listeners.
I know, and they're going to be mad at me, and it's going to be a whole thing.
No, they're not going to be mad at you.
Yeah, because
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, good, because I think it's so cool. I want to know about it.
Yes, and this is what it's important to ask hard questions and if somebody does believe something, they sure as hell should be able to tell you why and be able to, be passionate and talk about it and defend it, and that's fine, and we're allowed to do that.
All right, we got to go.
Oh, jeez.
Totally fascinating. Listen to the telepathy tapes, and we'll have a discussion.
Yes,
maybe in Candy Club. Great episode, Sarah. Roller derby, body scans.
Right.
So much is happening.
Yes.
All right, friends. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.